bet you're wondering if what everybody's talking about with the real estate market is actually true. I'm definitely a skeptic. I had to do the research myself, and I'm a realtor. I love real estate, I love investing, I want to know more about it, so I wanted to see for myself, is right now actually a good time to buy a home? Well, the mortgage rates are high, true. The housing prices are high, true. There's rumors of a possible coming crash, or I'll just wait till the interest rates come back down. Those are all valid thoughts and concerns, so I'm taking all those and I'm digging into each one by one. So come along with me and we'll talk about all of it. So let's talk about the interest rates. I found a great article in Forbes magazine that explained the history of mortgages over the last 40 years. Essentially what it was saying was that due to the war and things happening back in the 60s and 70s, mortgage rates were up to 12% by 1979. That's way higher than what we're seeing right now. So naturally, people weren't able to afford as much as what they could have if the interest rates were lower. Moving along to see where we're at now, we have a lot of global crises going on. We've got a lot of challenges in our own economy here in the United States, and so it's only natural that our interest rates are high because we've got so much extra expenditures going on in the country. So what does that mean for you personally? Well, I wanted to take a look at the last 40 years of the historical interest rates for mortgages, and I was actually surprised to see that we're kind of finding an equilibrium in the market. So if you look at this chart that I found, it starts out in the 1970s and ends with today at our, well, according to this article here, ended at the 7.45 interest rate. So just take a look at it and you'll see. So if the cost of mortgages is impacted by global events such as war, inflation, and other economics, then it should be high. The question is, how long will we see these rates continue to increase, or whatever they're doing at their current level? No one knows, and so that could be a long time. The question is, how long will the interest rates be what they are? No one knows. So what could happen are two things. If you bought a home today and you were able to get in on the current interest rates, you're winning because you already are purchasing your home and you're starting to build your equity. If you wait, hoping that the interest rates are going down, how much money are you giving over to your landlord that you could be building in your equity? A lot of mortgages right now, especially the FHA and the VA, they're offering credit to people with bad credit history right now. And so that's a huge benefit for both our veterans and our first-time home buyers. Not to mention, there's plenty of programs out there that are helping with down payment assistance. At the end of the day, buying a home depends on you and your personal financial decision making. If you're renting, how much money are you putting in your landlord's pocket? In the waiting process, you could be putting that money into the equity of your own home. Something else that we should consider when the mortgage rates are what they are, if they continue to go up, will you completely lose out on your opportunity to purchase a home? When you pre-qualify for a home, you have to go by the current interest rates because the mortgage broker will calculate your current finances, the current interest rate, what the payment will be, what the projected insurance will be, and then they come up with what you're allowed to buy. And so the interest rate increasing will deduct from the amount of purchasing power that you will have in the long run. So let's take a look at what that means for you. Let's say that you're interested in buying a $200,000 home at the current interest rate of 7.5%. Your monthly mortgage payment would be $1,398 plus tax, insurance, and other fees. Just a 1% increase into the interest rate to 8.5% would raise your payment $1,000 to $1,538 plus your insurances. This increase means that over the life of your loan, typically a 360-month payment plan or 30 years, you're going to be paying over $50,000 more than the current interest rate. And if you want to know those calculations, it's $140 times 30 years or 360 months. So what happens if the prices do drop over the next year? Well, let's calculate your rental payment, how much you're giving to your landlord, and let's figure out how much you could be putting in equity. So at 6.5%, the same $200,000 mortgage would be $1,264, $134 less than original at 7.5%. At 5.5%, the same $200,000 mortgage would be $1,136, a savings of $262. But how long is it going to take for us to get back there? Are we ever going to get back there? Who knows? They thought we were supposed to be at 6% by the end of summer 2023, and that definitely didn't happen. We just saw increase and increase. We're finally, luckily, seeing a little bit of a decrease. So if that doesn't make it clear that it's a good time to buy, are you still a little skeptical? Let's keep digging. This is part of my job that I really enjoy, and I hope that you enjoy the research that I put into for you. And feel free to fact check me, because I've got all my resources listed in this post for you. So right now, many lenders are offering what's called a 3-2-1 buy down. When you go and make a purchase offer on a home, you can ask the seller for a concession of doing a 3-2-1 buy down. What happens if the seller agrees? They then put money in equity that the mortgage broker will help them determine how much they need to put in equity. And with that payment, they are going to put the money into equity for you, and that money goes to pay down your interest over the life of that term of 3 years, 2 years, or 1 year. And when you're in that 3-year period, if that's the length that they approved you for, what you're going to do is you're going to have a lower interest rate of up to 3%. So you could have, instead of 7.5%, you could have a 4.5% interest rate for the next 3 years. If the mortgage rate over those few years decreases, you can take that money that's in equity for you and you can use it to refinance your loan down to the newer interest rate. Otherwise, if the mortgage rates don't decrease in the next 3 years, you're going to be bumped back up to 7.5% that you qualified for, which isn't a horrible thing, but your payment's going to be back up to a different rate. Okay, so the next concern we have is, what if the market crashes? I'm just going to wait till it crashes or the mortgage rates drop. We just discussed the mortgage rates. We're not so sure about that right now. We've got a lot of global crises going on, and everything in our country is a little bit crazy, so we'll see. We've got an election year coming up. It could be a better year next year, who knows? Okay, so question number 3. What if the market has a crash? What if next year we have better interest rates? I'm just gonna wait. Again, go back to, what are you paying your landlord, and is it a good time to sell or buy for you? This is a valid concern, obviously. We've seen home values increase, definitely in Miami, where I live, over 26% in the last several years. Housing prices have gone up, and so have rental prices. The real estate market currently shows, however, that there's a lot of shortages for housing in many areas. I have a map here for you guys to look at also, where you can see multiple places across the country that have housing shortages. So going back to your basic economics class from high school, if supply is down and demand is going through the roof, what does that mean for pricing? It means that it's going to be higher. So although pricing seems really high right now, it's appropriate for where we're at in the world right now. We need more houses built across the country, and until that happens, we're going to continue to see these. But as far as a housing crash like we saw in 2008, it does not look like that's going to happen at all. Everything's staying steady. It's not a mortgaging industry issue right now. More so, it's our economy is going through some hard times, a little bit of a recession combined with inflation. So that's more of what we're seeing, and it's impacting the housing market just because the interest rates are high. People are still needing houses, and so we're not going to see those decreases, especially here in Miami. What we are seeing right now is the single family home market here in Miami is still pretty hot. People want their single family homes up to about a $750,000 price point. We're seeing houses turn over pretty quickly. Anything over that slows down a bit because it challenges different home buyers that would have been able to take advantage of a higher priced home with a better interest rate. The condo market, however, is a huge difference. We're seeing a lot of those stagnate or decrease in price because not only we have the inspection challenges here, but we also have a lot of open space for the condos that it's a lot tougher to get a mortgage on because they have to dot all their I's, cross all their T's as far as the 40-year inspections and meeting other reserve criteria. So as far as the housing prices and the crash, I don't think that's going to happen here. So while it seems like home prices are high, it's proportionate, don't you think? So maybe you just need a little bit more information. Please check me out and see if my resources are good. I felt like I picked from some pretty reputable spots, so I'd love for you to do your own research, and when you're done figuring it out, give me a call because I'd be happy to help you find that perfect home for you and your family. I'm Erica Collins, realtor from Keller Williams, and I hope you have a fabulous home buying experience, and I look forward to working with you soon.